Today I have for you a very special collaboration all about collaborations. I have partnered up with Mary of LuMi LevelUp, and we are collabing on a video about our 5 most and least favorite artist collaborations with luxury designers. Okay, autumn of the future here. I have filmed this entire video and I had to cut back in because I checked my notes and I realized that we originally agreed on 3, not 5, favorite and least favorite artist collaborations. So I messed that up, but I'm gonna go ahead and keep all 5 because I did the work. And then you get to learn about 10 artist collaborations instead of 6, so it's good all around for you too. I have some very interesting pieces to show you, some of which you may never have seen before, and certainly, almost certainly, some information that you didn't know. So stick around. Hi YouTube, Autumn Beckman here. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My channel is all about luxury living on a budget, from high-end luxury handbags and small goods to the everyday luxuries of life. If that sounds interesting to you, please make sure you subscribe, click the bell notification icon to be notified when I post new videos, and be sure to like the videos that you enjoy. And one of the perks of subscribing to my channel is you get to see my community posts on your YouTube homepage, where I post deals, discount codes, sales, and rare finds related to these beautiful things we love. I've been posting some good ones too. Check it out. Make sure you're subscribed. And if they don't show up on your homepage, just go to my community tab on my YouTube page. So I have teamed up with Mary of LuMi LevelUp. Of course, our channel will be linked below. Her collab video will be linked below. And if you like my channel, you are going to love her channel. So please make sure after this video you go watch hers. Check her out. Consider subscribing. She's all the way over in Germany, and she has some fabulous content. I've really been enjoying her channel. She came up with the idea for this particular video about artist collaborations, and she came up with it because we share art in common. She studied art history, so have I. I'm an artist and I'm an art teacher. So this is a perfect topic for us to collaborate on. Also, I have several artist collaboration pieces, which I will briefly show you, but I have an entire video about them, about the pieces I'm showing you and more of them. So I'm going to link that video below too. If you're interested, you can go check that out. It's also a perfect collaboration for us because our channels have a similar thread running through them. Mine is luxury on a budget. Hers is all about spending money mindfully, particularly on luxury. And in February this month, she's on a no-buy month. She just did this great video about a Chanel reissue that she found a great deal on during February, during her no-buy month, and how she negotiated the decision of whether or not to buy that. And I relate so hard. So I'm going to link that video below as well. There are going to be all kinds of wonderful links for you in the description box below. Between the two of us, we've got enough content to last you all day, all week, all month even. I had to set some parameters for myself to do this video, so I'm going to go through that, do my little preamble here, and then we'll get into the meat of it. There are so many brands that do artist collaborations, and there are so many artist collaborations. So first of all, I decided to limit mine to Louis Vuitton. A couple reasons for that. One, I'm most familiar with their artist collaborations. But two, as I was researching this, I found an article. I'm going to read a quote to you. This is from Stephen Bond, director of fashion seller, formerly known as Carte Blanche, and apparently currently known as Carte Blanche, but with no vowels. I don't know. Here's the quote. Marc Jacobs, while at Louis Vuitton, partnered with his own contemporary set of unconventional creatives. In doing so, he set forth the motion for all the street and luxury collabs we're seeing today. So if that is accurate, then that means that Louis Vuitton, and particularly Marc Jacobs, are responsible for all these artist collaborations, whether they're coming from Louis Vuitton or from other brands. And that's pretty amazing because they're really prevalent. Now within Louis Vuitton, they do a lot of artist collaborations, but they also work with other people to design bags, like Sofia Coppola has a Speedy, Sharon Stone has the Mfar Vanity Case, which is actually a bag or a cross between the two, and they've worked with other design houses. a little similar to something like the Balenciaga Gucci hack or the Fendacci. One of the more recent examples of that was working with Fornasetti. Now, I don't know if Fornasetti did their own line that incorporated Louis Vuitton, but Louis Vuitton did a collection where they incorporated Fornasetti. And they've worked with the NBA, with the FIFA World Cup. They do pieces around regatta, sailing. I don't know the official group that they work with on that. But Louis Vuitton has done a lot of collaborations. So I did did narrow it down, limit it to specifically artist collaborations, and I do have a couple of designers thrown in, but I'm totally cool with that because designers are artists too. I also limited my selections to bags and SLGs because Louis Vuitton has certainly done collaborations on architecture and home furnishings and all kinds of other things. And I limited my selection to pieces that are available to the public. So they're not just a piece of art made for an exhibition, things that are available. Things that you could, if you see in this video right now and you really want it, you could go to the pre-loved market and probably find it. A huge help to me in doing the research for this video was this giant book that I got for Christmas a couple years ago from a dear friend. This is a book from Louis Vuitton. It is Louis Vuitton Art, Fashion, and Architecture. This is an incredible book. It comes with 3 different covers. This is obviously the Stephen Sprouse roses, and then there are 2 other designs. Very thick book, very heavy book. It comes in, let's see if I can maneuver around. Well, here, it comes in this thing, which you can't see very well from where you are, but it is a clear acrylic case to keep the book safe and keep that white cover nice and clean. It comes in French and English, so I will link that book below if it's still on the Louis Vuitton website. And if you are interested in artist collabs that Louis Vuitton has done, this is like the Bible on that. It is the ultimate reference book, and it's a book you should have in your collection. The last thing I want to say, and then we will get to the actual content, is that the selections I made are my personal selections. I decided not to go with what I think the most popular and least popular are out in the world amongst the handbag lovers. I just picked my personal 5 favorite and 5 least favorite. And it was really hard to come up with the 5 least favorite because I like most of them, or at least I appreciate most of them, because I appreciate the concept of artist collaborations. I think it's a wonderful thing that Louis Vuitton and other designers do. All right, let's get to the meat of it. Let's start with my 5 least favorite. Number 5, the collaboration with Louis Vuitton and Grace Coddington. I'm not going to give you a big history on each of the artists or designers, but I will show you a couple examples of the pieces that I'm talking about and tell you why I like them or don't like them. What I love about this collection is the illustrated look of it. I love this about a few things that I'm going to talk about in this video. I love that they've taken the monogram print and it's not just the plain brown monogram. They've altered the colors, they've altered the look of it a little bit. You have Grace's illustrations of cats all over these. Now, I'm not a big fan of the colors. It's too much red and orange for me, which just aren't my thing. But here's the big reason this made my least favorite list, and I'm going to offend some people here. Apologies in advance. Or maybe no apologies at all. It's because they're cats and not dogs. If this had been a collection with dogs strewn all over the bags, I mean, I would have a piece. I probably would have bought a bag by now. However, they are cats. And I'm not a cat person, I'm a dog person. Cats are lovely, they're fine, but dogs rule. Now, there are a couple of dogs that appear in this collection. However, they're very much in the background. For example, quite literally on this piece, the Zippy coin, there's a dog on the back. It's like they're an afterthought, and dogs deserve a lot more credit than that. Plus, the one bag charm that features a dog and no cats infamously looks like a turkey, and it's like, it's insulting to dogs is what it is. It's insulting to dogs, and that's why I have a problem with this collection. Number 4 on my list, and I know this is the second one I'm talking about, but we're working up to number 1, the worst, if that makes sense. Number 4 is the mirrored monogram collection. This was inspired by Sylvier, not sure how to pronounce that, Fleury, an artist who was invited to do a piece inspired by Louis Vuitton for a Louis Vuitton icon show in Paris. Now, this is one of the things that Louis Vuitton seems to do on a fairly regular basis, is they'll have these exhibitions where they invite artists to interpret Louis Vuitton items. So this artist created a keep-all in a silver mirrored material. That inspired this whole collection from Louis Vuitton of the silver and gold mirrored pieces. I love these pieces. The reason it made my least favorite list is because of the long-term lack of durability for these bags. The piece that the artist created is a piece of art. It's meant to sit on a pedestal and not be touched and remain pristine. The handbags, however, are meant to be used. They're meant to be handbags that that get carried around and thrown around, and the key balls especially, they're used for travel. And if you look at the pre-loved market at the mirrored pieces, if you can even find one, a lot of them are not in great shape. They've got a lot of wear and damage to them, and it's because of the materials that they're made of. So this is totally the fault of whoever at Louis Vuitton chose that material to make these pieces in. Beautiful, gorgeous, stunning, brand new, but they just don't last. A luxury bag should last, in my opinion. Number 3, the infamous Masters Collection by Jeff Koons. What was he thinking? What were the Louis Vuitton people thinking for allowing this to happen? I have the same complaints about this that everyone else does, particularly something like the Mona Lisa bag, which looks like you just took an image, slapped it on a Louis Vuitton bag. It looks like something cheap you'd find in a gift shop. And I mean, museum gift shops I've been to have nicer looking things than this. I just think it's really poorly done. I think for an artist like Jeff Koons is, I do like some of his work. I just don't like this collection. I think it could have been pushed a lot farther. I appreciate some of the concepts behind it, of mass production of art, of artists borrowing, stealing from each other. I just think it could have been done a lot better. I like the idea, but not the execution. So that made the naughty list. No surprise, right? Number 2, Louis Vuitton's collaboration with Kansai Yamamoto. This is a Japanese artist, and there are things I like about it, like some of the patterns, or on the back of the Neverfull, this floral pattern. I think that's really beautiful. I love that. I would have loved it if it just had that on it. But what ruins this collection for me, and for a lot of people, I think, are the faces. I just don't like them. You guys, if you've watched my channel, you know I don't care for cartoony things, and this falls in that category for me. It's great that it's bold and the bold colors, and there are people who love that stuff, but the faces, I don't particularly want a big face unless it's a dog face on my luxury bags. Oh. Case in point, dog faces. Now this artist and designer had worked with David Bowie and done some of his costume designs. So we know this guy's legit. Well, I mean, he's got a lot of other things to his name too. He's a legit artist and designer, and I just wish that with Louis Vuitton he had done something in his bold style, but without the faces. Again, the idea is one thing, the execution doesn't work for me. My very least favorite artist collaboration that I have found so far is between Louis Vuitton and Karl Lagerfeld. What Karl Lagerfeld designed for Louis Vuitton as part of their monogram celebration, where they asked 5 designers in 2014 as part of the Icons and Iconoclast collection. And a lot of these have become iconic pieces, and I'll talk about a couple more in a minute. This is an incredible collection, an incredible idea, having artists come in and give their interpretation of Louis Vuitton pieces. I just think Karl Lagerfeld, again, could have done so much better. These pieces are boring. They just look like something that the Louis Vuitton designers created. I don't see anything. Now, I'm not all that familiar with Karl Lagerfeld, but I don't see anything, particularly him here, or particularly anyone. They just look like Louis Vuitton bags. It's just monogram. Like, where's the interest? It's boring. It's boring, I tell you. I need more, especially from such an iconic designer. Now it's time to shift to my 5 favorites. Number 5, also part of the Icons and Iconoclast collection, Rei Kawakubo. This is the infamous, I have several infamous pieces in this video, do I not? The infamous bag with holes. So this is a Louis Vuitton handbag with holes cut out. The edges are treated so the bag doesn't come apart. Inside is like a dust bag to keep your things in so they don't just fall out everywhere. Lots of people have a love or hate relationship with this. I happen to love it. I think it's clever and creative. I think it pushes the boundaries. I think this designer, unlike Karl Lagerfeld, did their job. And they gave a real interpretation of a Louis Vuitton bag instead of just creating another piece that looks like a regular Louis Vuitton bag. Number 4, collaboration with Judy Blame. Not to be confused with Judy Blume, children's book author. Judy Blame is a male designer, punk kind of designs. If you're familiar with Marc Jacobs' Louis Vuitton denim line, of which I have this example here of a clay. It's this yellow on the inside, beautiful. If you're familiar with this, you're familiar with the denim pleaty. Well, the Judy Blame line is part of that collection, or a different take on that collection. It's the ones where you have the denim pleaty and other bags with the stripes, and then like this Louis Vuitton stamp and metal charms hanging off of it. I didn't know until I did the research for this video that this was an artist artist collaboration. I thought that was all Marc Jacobs, but oh no. That was Judy Blame's take on the denim line. And I love that line, would love to have a piece. My number 3 most favorite artist collaboration is also from the Icons and Iconoclast collection. And this is a messenger bag by Cindy Sherman. Cindy Sherman, if you're not familiar with her, is a photographer. I do drawing, painting, and photography. And Cindy Sherman is one of the photographers whose work I really enjoy and admire. So I think it's cool to have an artist that I'm familiar with joined up with Louis Vuitton, and I would love to have this bag. Now I have to say, my love for this bag is really more about the connection to Cindy Sherman than it is about the bag itself. The bag itself I'm not all that crazy about. The shape of it, the patches on it, I don't know, it's not my favorite thing, but I'd still like to have it in my collection because of the Cindy Sherman connection. My number 2 favorite artist collaboration with Louis Vuitton is that with Chapman Brothers. I do have one piece from that collection, which is this luggage tag with the rhinoceros on it, and there's the back of it. This is another one of those love-hate kind of things. A lot of people hate this collection and think the drawings are hideous. I love it. Partly because it's animals, partly because I appreciate illustrations. And I think these are beautiful, creative, interesting, disturbing illustrations, and I love all of those things. What I also love about this, similar to the Grace Coddington collection, is that they didn't just slap their design on the traditional brown monogram like Karl Lagerfeld did. They altered the monogram, and this was part of the men's line. So it's not even the same colors. They've made it white and a dark blue. They've changed the monogram where it's more of a drawing with lines in it. It's more of an illustration, and I just love everything about that. And now we've made it to my number 1 favorite artist collaboration, and this is a little bit different because it's not just one artist, it's more of a collection and an idea, and that is the series of Artie Capucines. If you're not familiar with these, Louis Vuitton has come out with a few series. I don't know how they do it exactly, if it's one per year or one every couple of years, but this was, as far as I know, the original collection. 6 different bags designed by 6 different artists. So what they do is give them an Artie Capucine as their canvas. The artist comes up with whatever design they want to come up with for that bag, and then they work with Louis Vuitton to figure out how to make that happen. It's not that I love every bag in this collection. It's not that I have a favorite bag in this collection, and I'm not going to talk about any of the particular bags or artists here. What I love about this and why it's my number 1 is that 1, it's an artist collaboration, but 2, it's something that has been incorporated into the Louis Vuitton house, such that artist collaborations are part of who they are. This is a regular thing. This is something that we've come to expect Louis Vuitton to release every few years, and they get quite a diverse group of artists from what I've understood of who the artists are. And I just love the concept. Give everybody the same canvas and see what kinds of crazy different things they can come up with. Sometimes the designs are just flat on the Artie Capucine, and sometimes they're minimal, and sometimes they're wild and they come off of the Artie Capucine, and it's just incredible to see what the artists do with the same piece. I would love to have one of these in my collection someday. I don't know which one, and I think something like that would be many years down the line, because these bags are quite expensive. I think depending on the bag, they're around $8,000 plus. On the pre-loved market, you can find them for more than that and less than that, but they're very special pieces. They're very limited. They come in special boxes. It's like cut out and everything. I have to say the Capucine as a bag is definitely not one of my favorites. I'm not a fan of that bag, but I love the concept behind the artist collaborations so much that I would totally buy one someday when I have that kind of money to blow on a bag. And for me, I think of all of these artist collaborations actually, not just as bags that I'm spending money on, if I were to. I think of them as pieces of art because they're collaborations with artists. I can look at a regular Louis Vuitton bag, and to me that's just a handbag. It's not a piece of art. It's a nice piece of design, but it's not so much a piece of art. An artist collaboration to me really elevates the bag to something different, to an artwork. And that's one of the reasons they're so special to me, and I think they're worth more money because of that, and they tend to go for more money. That's not always true. There are a lot of not artist collaborations, delete that part. Now, at the beginning of this video, or toward the beginning, I told you I would show you the artist collaboration pieces that I have in my collection. I neglected to do that at the beginning, so I'm going to do it now. I already showed you the Chapman Brothers piece. I also have this Ceresa's round coin from Takashi Murakami. His collaborations are probably some of the most famous and most loved pieces. The Ceresa's, the multicolor, the LV that has all the little designs on it, I don't know what that one's called, the panda, the cherry blossoms, and the monogramouflage. I showed you the Stephen Sprouse roses on the cover of my book. You're probably already familiar with that collection. Stephen Sprouse also did the graffiti collection, of which I have the green pochette accessoire. I would love to have the Speedy in this green as well. And this is from the original release. There was a re-release later on that had bright neon colors. I've seen some of those in person. They are quite neon. Be aware of that if you're interested in getting one and haven't seen one in person yet. I also have another of my very favorite artist collaborations, Yayoi Kusama, this bag charm with the dots on it. Her work is all about the dots. I would love to have the Neverfull from her collection. The problem is Louis Vuitton didn't make the one I really want, which is the white dots on the outside and the yellow dots on the inside. It's either all white or all yellow that you can purchase, and I don't know which one I want, but someday I would love to have that bag in my collection. I'd love to have the Speedy, but the Speedy doesn't have the dots on the interior, so that's why I'd rather have the Neverfull. Also, I saw a show of hers over the summer in San Antonio. I will link that video below because I filmed it for you. It's a little San Antonio vlog, and you can go through and find it there. And I have one more thing to show you, which is an artist collaboration. It's not a bag or small leather good. And remember, I do have my artist collaboration collection video linked below that has artist collabs with other brands as well. But I have this bottle of perfume, my Le Jour Célèbre. That's a regular bottle of perfume, nothing special about that other than being a Louis Vuitton perfume. But I have this topper, which does not belong with this bottle. I got it separately. You can't buy them separately. I just happened to be able to acquire one. This was designed by Frank Gehry, and the bottles that this go to are different from these bottles, and he also designed those. But he also was part of the Icons and Iconoclast collection and designed this kind of wavy bag, and he's done architecture for Louis Vuitton. So he's been very involved with the brand, and I'm happy to have one little piece from him too. That brings me to the end of my video. Now I'm going to go over to LuMi LevelUp and check out her video and see what her favorite and least favorite artist collaborations were, and whether they're all Louis Vuitton or did she go to other brands as well. I hope you'll join me over there, and again, consider subscribing to her channel. She's wonderful. I think you'll really love her. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye.